Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma ja'alna du'atan ilayk wa ila rasulik. Faqad qala Allahu tabaraka wa ta'ala fi kitabihil mubin. Ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Alam naj'al lahu 'aynayn wa lisanan wa shafatayn. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم وأنا على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Today I want to do as least amount of talking as possible, not just because of my throat, but because of the nature of the topic and what is required. I believe less talk is required. And the topic that was advertised is, how do you paint a picture for a blind person? Anybody knows a blind person? Anybody who is blind? Nobody knows anybody who is blind? Well, you'll have to try and imagine it then. The reason why we can talk to one another about colors is because we have a point of reference. We can refer pink to red. So we can say, okay, it's not bright like red, but a little, less, a little white in it, and we can say, well, that is pink. But if you do not have any idea of colors, how are you going to explain to a blind person what is blue? Anybody want to try? You want to try and come up with an explanation? Some way of explaining or showing a blind person, making them understand what is blue? What you will say? You don't know where to start, isn't it? Because there is no starting point. If you have a starting point, at least you could have taken it from there, and then you could have, gone forward. But because there is no starting point, there is no idea of what color is for a blind person, painting a picture for him, painting a picture in the sense of describing something in relation to its color, is going to be very difficult. So therefore, you have to use a different sense. When we say sense, we have 5 senses, right? Sight is just one of them. So to explain blue to a blind person, you have to tell him, imagine yourself at the beach, hearing the waves, rolling and crashing in the background, and a nice cool morning breeze is blowing on you. That is the color blue. Blue, therefore, has to be explained as far as the mood blue is. Every color has a mood. That is why you paint your bedroom in a certain color to get the ambience, to create the mood. So you'll paint your bedroom in what? What colors? Light colors, right? Like what? I talk about blind people, but like we have people who can't speak. So we should change the topic then. How to give bayan to people who can't speak. You'll have to talk. Huh? So what color bedroom do people normally have? White, a little off-white, light colors. Because you're going to sleep, you don't want nothing to shock you. You don't want nothing bright to flash. You want light, mild colors. What color is your bedroom? Light blue or deep blue? Huh? You'll be sleeping, you don't know. Like, is this a deep blue, right? Okay, but if you want to paint a kitchen, all right? You'll paint it what? Like curry color, hot, bright red. Spicy, no? To show what? The flavor and the zest in the food. So color is not just about a color. Color also has a mood, right? You're painting a race car. You're going to paint the race car, window racing. Red and blue and flashy colors. Fire. You want to show this thing have what? Power. So color also has a mood. It has a feeling to it. So therefore, you would describe to a blind person color by describing the mood of it. So when you're talking to him about the beach, what is coming over him? A certain sensation, a certain feeling. And then a mental picture will be going about in his mind, and then that becomes his blue. And if you want to talk about red, what you would tell him? You want to tell a blind person about the color red. So what you will talk to him about? Fire, right? Because red is hot. So like this. Because you want him to understand the mood. Color, however, is not what we see it. Color basically is light reflecting or bouncing off the particular object. We are seeing this thing, for example, blue, because the light reflecting off it gives us the understanding that this is blue. However, if you change the color of the light, right, the color of the objects will also change. Because now it's a different light bending off. Because when light bends, what happens? When you refract the light and light bends, it gives off various colors, isn't it? This is why, how do you get the rainbow? These people take a good thing, the most beautiful thing, and they just mess it up. They mess up the rainbow. The rainbow used to be a nice thing, And the rainbow used to be such a beautiful thing, depicting the various colors, and they take the rainbow, which the rainbow really is supposed to tell us about the different colors, right? But they take the rainbow that represents different colors and say, well, this red could be blue and blue could be red, and they just mix up the whole thing. You know when they mix up all color, what you get? If you take, when your poster colors, right? When you mix up all of them, what color you get? Brown and ugly and nasty. That's what they do. They nasty up with rainbow. You all understanding what I'm talking about? Are you all understanding, right? All right. So, light, when it hits something, it creates a color. You use a different color light. So, the colors that we are seeing is really not the actual color of what it is, but it's the color of the light bending off. The reason I'm talking about color and explaining color to blind people, you'll excuse me, I just need to wet the throat a little bit, is for us to understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to do to explain about Jannat to us. Because we are blind to it. And what Allah and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to do to explain about ghaib and unseen to us. Because just as color is not perceptible by a blind person, but to get a little feel of it, he has to feel it. He has to feel color to know what it is, to get a little idea of what you are looking at. You're looking at an ocean, right? A blue ocean and a blue sky. For him to get an understanding of what that is, what you are seeing, you have to make him feel something because he can't see it. For Allah to give us an understanding of what Jannat is, and what is Jannat? What no eyes have seen, what no ears have heard, no mind has conceived. And for us to get an understanding of the life to come, the hereafter, the angels recording the deeds, this whole test that we are in, this whole system that we are going through, this unheard of, unseen thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs for us to get a feeling. So we just can't see the ayahs of Quran. We have to feel it. And we just can't practice or perform the salat. You have to feel it. It has a mood to it. It has an electricity in it. It has a current in it. And until and unless we don't get the mood of it and we don't get the feel of it, we'll be missing Islam. We'll be Muslims, yes, externally, outwardly, praying, fasting, everything. But we'll not be getting the picture of what is going on. Because life is going on, we are living, we are eating, all of these things are happening. But the true objective of our creation and why we are here, what we are doing, and what is going around us, and the whole scenario, everything, we're not in tune with it, the big picture. And life is just going and going, and what Shaitan has done, and what the anti-Islamic system has done, is not telling us, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do this. What they are doing is making sure we don't have enough time to do it. So in effect, we're not putting the time and the attention that is required. In Surah Al-Mulk, how many Hafiz we have? Any Hafiz? Anybody's Talibul Ilm, studying in Darul Ulooms? Any madrasas? One. Anybody again? Talibul Ilm? Anybody in classes, formal classes? Some Islamic class, like that? So we have the different categories of youths here. We have the young youths, we have the middle-aged youths, and we have the very old youths. All the youths are represented here today, alhamdulillah. So in Surah Mulk, Surah Mulk, what surah is it? What surah number? 67. What surah number as far as Revelation is concerned? 77. What can you tell me about Surah Mulk again? Anybody? First surah in which juz? 29. First, how many ayats? 30 ayats. So 30 ayats. Hadith talks about it. There's a surah in Quran, 30 ayats. So 30 ayats in Surah Mulk. And Allah starts off, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. In this ayat, Allah identifies the reason and the objective of our creation. Before we were sent in this world, our ruh, our soul, the major part of us, we, the real you, not the vessel you. This is your vessel, your car, your transportation, whilst you are in this world. The real you was in a place called Alamul Arwah, and your soul was absorbed in the Zat of Allah. Just absorbed, like a rock facing the sun or something. Just absorbed in the Zat and being of Allah. It's not going forward, it's not going backward, it's not rising in status, it's just there and existing. Okay? So it's absorbed in the Zat of Allah. However, for it to get something called taraqi, and for it to rise in status, and to really come close to Allah, and to have a different connection and relationship with Allah, the soul was sent to this world to do something called amal, and to collect something called ajr. So why was the soul sent here? To do amal and to collect the currency of the hereafter, ajr, rewards. To earn rewards and to do deeds. So Allah says, it is He who has created life and death, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ, to test you and to see ayyukum ahsanu amala. Which of you is best in deeds? So why have we been sent here? To do what? Deeds, amals, deeds. Now, these deeds are going to have things opposing them, causing you not to want to do them. These deeds are going to like for example, you have to collect certain trinkets, and these things are placed on top of the mountain. You have to climb the mountain in order to get them, and then you have to dive at the bottom and you have to collect it. So you're gaining points. You have been sent in this world to test and to see which of you is going to be best in deeds. So this is a mission about deeds, about a'amals, about earning rewards. And hurdles are going to be put in our ways. Diversions are going to be put in our ways. If you go in an exam room and some noise is happening outside, some construction is taking place, that noise or that construction is a what? Distraction. Why? The person, whoever is doing the construction, he's building a house, he's building a hospital, he's doing something constructive, he's doing something that is good. But as far as your test is concerned, what is that? A distraction. Because you have to concentrate. You have to try and remember. You have to try and recall. So that becomes a distraction. Not that in itself it is something bad, but because it can hamper and it is a distraction to your exam. That is why it's a distraction. What is the word for distraction? Arabic word. Fitna. What is it? Fitna. Verily your wealth and your wife and your children and your husbands and your families and your business and your car and the list goes on. These things are what? Fitna. Not that they are bad in themselves, but in relation to the exam that you have to write, the exam that life is, the task of the exam. Different examinations are for different purposes. Some examinations are to test your what? Your maths. Some examinations are to test your memory. What other kind of exam and test you have? A driving test. What is that to test? How pretty you are? How good looking you are? What is a driving test to do? See how you can maneuver the vehicle, how you can control the vehicle. What other kind of tests you have? Come, the older youths start to tell me, like a diabetes test. Right? What is that to test? What are you testing there? Your sugar level, your glucose level, and so on. So different tests are for different things. This life is to test what? Allah says it's a test. لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ. To test you in relation to what? I told you all the answer already. A'mal, deeds. Now, in order to test strength, you give somebody something heavy to lift. Alright? In order to test your driving skills, I put you on a road course. How is Allah going to test our deeds? What deeds you're going to do? What He has to do? He has to put scenarios in front of you. Understand? Different scenarios. Alright, let me put a bad driver in front of him. Give him a bad drive. A scenario, no? And let the man bad drive you, and let me see what you will do. You will start to carry on, you will start to make noise. Okay, no problem, let him bad drive you, and higher up the road, let him get in an accident. Let's see what you'll do. So you see, he's stupid. That's why he end up in the driving dotation. Asa? Or you'll say, no, it's a human being. That's my brother, a human brother. To test you. So to test your bravery, Allah has to put an enemy in front of you. To test your patience, Allah has to put calamities in front of you. So like this, Allah has to put us through situations and circumstances. Forget everybody. Don't worry about everybody playing their role. The rich is the test for the poor to see whether they will what? Look at them and say, boy, them can't eat all of that. How do we sleep in 2-bedroom and watch 2 TV? I can take one. Understand? So the rich is the test for the poor. And the poor man is the test for the rich man. And this, you are my test and I am your test. And like this. So don't mind Allah's business. Don't try and figure it out. Look at what we have to do. What we have to do? Come forward with the best of deeds. This is what we are doing. The test is to see who will perform which deeds. Who will go forward and perform the best of deeds. I have $10 in my pocket. Somebody asks me for something. They need something. Will I take out 5 and say what? I take half, I go take half. Or will I say what? Take the whole 10. Or will I say, hold the 10 and just now, I'm not going to borrow an next 10 and give you because your need is important. You need to see about it. What level, what degree will we go? What deeds are we going to come in front of Allah on the day of Qiyamah with? That is what it is all about. But there's a formula for it. And the formula is, in this world, The ladder of this world is our senses, our five senses. This is the ladder of this world. You want to make it in this world? Simple formula. What's the formula for making it in this world? What is the formula for making it in the dunya? Anybody can make it in this dunya. What's the formula? Work hard. Just work hard. Yeah. Work hard from morning to night. You just work. Work hard, you make it. You might make it now, but eventually you're going to make it. You have to work hard. Everybody can make it. Anybody can make it. Nobody's become somebody's. So I come and work hard and I sacrifice. And you don't know where I start from, and they'll make it. As the formula for this world. So this world, the ladder for this world are the five senses. Apply them, you will make it. There's also a ladder for the hereafter. Something that you need to climb the hereafter. And that is on the inside. There's the spiritual senses. Those things will allow us. Where do you find that? These spiritual senses that will allow us to see colors even though we're blind. And that will allow us to hear even though we are deaf. They are buried right under our house. This body is our house. They are buried under our house. The treasure, it is buried under the house. But to get to the treasure, what you have to do? You have to break down the house. If you do not break down the house, the treasure will be right below your feet. You'll be trampling on it, you'll be walking on it, but you'll never realize it and you'll never tap into it. You need to annihilate this being, this outer being, to get to the inside. Just like how the coconut and then you have to bust open the shell and then they get on the inside. Similarly, to get to the treasure on the inside, you have to dig. You always have to dig for treasure, you know. Treasure is not on top of the earth, it's very deep inside. And it's right under your house. You have to get rid of yourself, of this body and its callings and its desires. When you get rid of this body, when you get rid of this house, you will come to the treasure chest. When you come to that treasure chest, it is the eyes, and it is the ears, and it is the understanding and the ladder that we need to climb in the hereafter. Everybody knows what the truth is. Everybody knows the reality. But Allah has created us such that we can be blind to the thing right in front of us. That's why we don't see, we know it. Right in front of us, but we never see it. The truth is right there. What is the truth? Hadith talks about it. Hadith says that this thing is haqqun. What is the truth? Al-something haqqun. Al-mawtu haqqun. That is the truth. The only truth. Everything else is fake. That's the one certainty. That is what we need to be preparing for. In order for us to be able to see the colors, as blind as we are, and to hear the ayats of Quran, as deaf as we are, the only way for us is through bay'ah. Is to take bay'ah in the hands of the mashayikh. Otherwise, we're just like headless chickens. Just running about doing this, doing that, and we'll never find that treasure. We need to take bay'ah, and we need to put our hands in the hands of the mashayikh. Allah has blessed us here, especially this community, especially Monroe, that the two mashayikhs that are in the country are from right here, Abdul Salam and Mona Shiraz. Take the bay'ah. For too long, take the bay'ah. This is the way forward. No other way. Everything will be everything. But this is what will help us to destroy the house that we need to destroy to get to the treasure below. وأقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.